get back into classrooms this week, some Central New York school districts are still desperately trying to hire teachers. In Syracuse, the city school district had to hire dozens more teachers than last year, and the teachers union president says the situation is only going to get worse. CBS 5's Connor White is with the Live Eye in Syracuse right now.
Students will be returning to classrooms in Syracuse tomorrow on Wednesday, and hiring for teachers has really continued up to the last minute. The teachers union president says that some local solutions have begun to move the needle in the right direction, but this is ultimately a national problem with a max exodus of teachers heading either for retirement or resigning from their positions.
Syracuse teachers.
Less than 24 hours from the first day of class, and teachers are still in high demand in Syracuse.
You're looking at a good 5 years before we start to see some real relief.
Teachers Union President Nicole Capsello says she's not shocked. The district had about 50 more teacher vacancies to fill this year compared to last summer. The big picture problem isn't gone. More teachers are retiring, while fewer people are enrolling in colleges to replace them.
We're now at that peak where they're meeting. So it's going to continue to go up before it comes down, for sure.
Capsello says some local programs are moving the needle, including partnerships with local colleges and New York State waiving what she called unnecessary certification requirements. But larger districts like Syracuse are still struggling. So this year easier than the past couple?
I think so. Yeah.
In Canastota, Superintendent Sean Becerra says this summer's hiring needs were back at pre-pandemic levels.
I think 21 and 22 both probably by far were the two most challenging years. This year, fortunately, we haven't had to do as much hiring.
In part, he credits New York State temporarily removing the limit on what retirees can earn, allowing the district to hire back retired staff at better wages. Some smaller suburban districts also reported fewer vacancies this summer.
Because they're taking our people.
Capsello says Syracuse teachers that aren't retiring are going to suburban districts. Last summer, the I-Team found that Syracuse schools are offering starting wages that are lower than North Syracuse, Jamesville DeWitt, and Fayetteville Manlius.
But we're not that far behind, for sure. And it is something we obviously will have to look at for negotiations for retention and recruitment.
Overall, it seems like the bigger the district, the bigger the problem. In North Syracuse, the largest suburban district in central New York, they've reported having around 7 teacher positions still open as they had for their first day. Last year before school started, they had all positions filled. Meanwhile, down the road at Jordan-Elbridge, their superintendent says that they didn't have to hire a single teacher this summer. That's the first time he's seen that in his 12-year career over in Jordan.
The marquee local election this campaign season in central New York is the race for county executive. Tonight, for the first time, you'll see the two men running for the job side by side at a political event. Good evening, I'm Matt Mulcahy. You're watching NBC3 News at 11. In Onondaga County, Democrats have had the edge in voter enrollment for several years now. Election data from August shows about 116,000 Democrats registered countywide, 82,000 plus Republicans. The Conservative Party has about 5,000 voters. The number that's been growing steadily for years now is the number of voters not enrolled in any party. That's now 86,000 more than the Republicans. Well, tonight, a church on the north side of Syracuse was the site of the first debate in the race for county executive. Republican incumbent Ryan McMahon and Democratic challenger Bill Kinney faced off at the Destiny Christian Church. Our Dale Ostrander was there.
At the debate at the Destiny Christian Center, there was no arguing amongst the candidates. Instead, both candidates, Ryan McMahon and Bill Kinney, talked about what their vision and goals are if they were elected to be the Onondaga County executive for the next 4 years. Several topics of debate were raised between the two sides, both making their promises to what they will do if they are the county executive for the next 4 years.
We need more affordable housing. Affordable housing means just what I said. It's affordable for working families.
We should not be in the housing business, but we need to find a way to get builders to build more affordable housing.
With the debate taking place in Syracuse, both shared what they think the future is for Syracuse neighbors when it comes to Micron.
Make sure every corner of the community feels part of that. And that's what we've been doing. I think the community's been seeing that with Micron coming here. But the reality is, it's not just about Micron. We are now the hub for semiconductor manufacturing and memory technology in North America.
When I'm elected, I intend to work with everyone, including the city, because no matter how good Micron will be in 10, 15 years when it's actually here, you still need a strong city center.
I was able to talk to one Onondaga County neighbor who found out about the debate and wanted to come see how the candidates were prepared, as well as what he liked about both of them.
Ryan McMahon had some ideas of what he wanted to do to make sure that when something big happens, like Micron moving in, that the county's going to do everything possible to make that successful. And on the other hand, Bill Kinney had some things on his mind he had to get off about the general directions that the county seems to be going and that he wanted to change.
The general election is on November 7th. That gives candidates just 2 months to get their message out to voters.
Cool, but that's what is here for a couple more days. Parents are trying to keep their kids as cool as possible, but with the intense temperatures, many wonder how they'll get that done in the school buildings, especially in large classrooms that have plenty of students this week. Our Samantha Croston heard from some parents and teachers on how they think the heat will impact this early few days of schools and the ability to learn.
At a time students should be sweating classes, schedules, and grades, they'll be sweating over something else.
Too many kids in the classroom. You've got kids with phones these days. You know, to add heat to it's just one more variable that teachers have to worry about.
So we do have classrooms that get up into the hundreds. I mean, we, in this district, our buildings are old, they're not air conditioned. And when you get up onto the higher floors, the airflow and cool air just doesn't exist.
It's in the mid-80s here as kids soak up the sun in the final hours of summer. Students might go down the slide at recess, but teachers say temperatures will go up in the classroom. And it's not just about the discomfort. Parents say that the heat presents a learning barrier as students swing into the school year.
They ain't concentrating, they ain't paying attention, half of them are half asleep, especially when you get in the older grades.
The president of the Syracuse Teachers Association, Nicole Capsello, says there's a push at the state level to have a maximum temperature in the classroom to make sure students are not in rooms where it's over a certain temperature. But it hasn't passed yet. Until then, teachers will have to continue coming up with creative ways to keep their students comfortable and cool. In Liverpool.
We're in central New York, so it's not a large amount of the year, but it's uncomfortable.
I'm Samantha Croston.